Today I'm taking you inside my mind as a 5KD player. One of the biggest areas that a lot of people struggle is with game sense and decision making. So we're going to be breaking down a recent 35 kill win that I had, and throughout the entire game we're just going to answer one question. Why? Why do I do this versus that? Why do I challenge this guy versus that guy? Why do I make the decisions that I do throughout an entire game of Warzone? Now, jumping in immediately, why do I land here? Number one, it's where I feel most comfortable. That is the most important thing when it comes to choosing your drop spot. Number two, I know there's a lot of cash around here, so I can get my loadout guns quickly. And number three, it is a hot drop. There's going to be enemy teams here, meaning I can potentially get off to a good start kill-wise. Now, from here, generally, I like to find an SMG as soon as possible, but why did I land on this guy and just start swinging at him and trying to melee him? Short answer is I was doing this game during a live stream. I live stream on Twitch and YouTube 5 days a week, but I got challenged to have my first kill be a melee kill. So I decided to take him up on it. Usually my goal is to find an SMG as fast as possible, then find cash, then buy my loadout SMG, and then from there we can really start to challenge. Now immediately without even thinking, I get out. Why? Because I know his teammates are around. I don't have an SMG yet, so we're just gonna work over this way. And my usual path is I land on this little loot cache that's over here that sometimes gives me a bag, sometimes it doesn't give me any cash, but in this case gives me 3,500. Now I actually end up making a pretty big mistake right here, and I do not buy loadout. Now I'm playing solo quads, so loadout only costs 7,500. Why did I buy my guns instead? Well, you know, look, watch, you're gonna see it right here. The answer is not because I was short on cash. I literally could have gotten loadout with that stack of 800 right there. The short answer is because I usually land on this loot cache right here and I grab the bag, and then my first move, at this point, I never have enough for loadout. I hit those two crates, I never have enough for loadout. I always immediately start with this and buy my SMG because that gives me an advantage in this early game when I'm fighting in close quarters when it comes to TTK, recoil, comfortability, mobility. So I didn't even think about loadout being a possibility in this moment because it's not what I usually do. Definitely a mistake on my end though. Regardless, we buy Legionnaire perk package. Why? It's my favorite to buy. If you are subscribed, you guys know this. Flex perk, right? Increases my audio, increases footstep audio a little bit, and delays prox mines, claymores, stuff like that. Sleight of hand to reload quicker and get back in the action. And I think double time is the most important perk in the game because it gives you that outplay potential and it makes movement feel more fluid. So I always buy Legionnaire perk package if I don't have my loadout, which by the way, guys, if you are looking to get better at Warzone, especially as we head into the Black Ops 6 Warzone integration, take a second, make sure you are subscribed down below. My whole goal is just to help you become a better player. And look, we are on the road to 400,000 people that I've been helping. So why do we not get the thirst there? It's not even an option, guys. That guy's flying in. I took a lot of damage, so we kind of have to back off that fight. Now, what do we do from here? Why do we push across? Okay, why do we push across into this building and not challenge the next enemy? The short answer is this is a little bit of information overload, okay? So, you know, when I look at this mini-map, you know, I kind of see the two guys here. I see this guy that got out of the car. I see this guy flying in. It's really hard, especially because it happened so fast and I know that I took damage. My first thought is get out and then look at the minimap, okay? So you can see right here as I flip off my camera, like this is where I look at the minimap. I'm already starting to work through this direction here because I'm gonna back off, but I'm remembering the information. I'm still kind of taking in the information right here and understanding where people are. You know, I know there's multiple people across. By the way, one tip that I will give you throughout this video is kind of think about you playing, okay? I want you to kind of put yourself in my shoes here. Think about what you would do, and then I'll answer the question as to why I did what I did. Why do we push across right here? Very simple. Minimap pings. Jump down from the mortar. We hear the minimap pings right there. Minimap pings from weapon pings right there means, hey, we got two teams fighting. This is potentially 8 people because I'm in solo quads. I'm going to go ahead and walk out of here with this, try to get as many kills as possible, just third-partying this.
Marking the rest of that squad on your tac map. Get hunting.
Why do I not shoot this guy? Why do I not challenge him right there? Okay, I have a little window potentially, right? A little bit of an awkward situation. We're going to go ahead. We're going to get this down and thirst right here. I kind of catch him pushing up right there as I'm getting the thirst. So why do I not just swap to my SMG? I mean, I have my SMG out right here. Why do I not shoot him? Well, because he technically has the advantage, right? I don't know what gun he has, but I'm kind of mid-weapon swap here. I'm not looking his direction. My crosshairs are probably about right here. So it'd be a little bit of an awkward fight. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to work around this way and anticipate that he's going to push in here, which is exactly what he does. Now, he doesn't push in as aggressively as I'd like, which is why this kind of ends up being this true head-on 50-50 situation, right? Where it's like a really awkward fight. And at the end of the day, I just kind of jump, hit a headshot there, and I have a little bit of a faster TTK. Again, I have my static here, which is a huge advantage early when it comes to TTK. Now, what's our next move here? Okay? Again, I want you to put yourself in my shoes. Think about what you would be doing. Would you be looting up? Would you be looking for kills? What do we do? Why do I push over here? Very simple. Weapon pings, okay? When I look at the minimap here, when I get this kill, guys, and look at the minimap, my goal is to take in as much information as possible. So again, you're going to see me look at the minimap right here. I don't see anything at the moment, but we're going to check it again here in a second, and boom, what do we see? We see this guy right here. Okay, so now immediately I'm going to work my way across and see what I can find. Now, do we play this aggressive or do we play positioning? We play a little bit of positioning. I'm going to ask you a question right here, okay? What do you do in this moment? We don't have the... What do we do in this moment, okay? So you have three options. Just wait. Just stay here, okay? Just kind of see if he pops up or not, see if he self-revives. Number two is fly across. Okay, do you fly across here? Fly across the factory, see if you can get the angle. Or number three, which is what I'm going to do here, is I'm just going to find the angle to get the thirst. And look, I barely see his toe there, but we're going to get that thirst. Why do I do that? Two reasons. Number one, I can fly to the rooftop, hit AC unit, okay, jump up top, and try to get the angle that way. Or I can take zip, both of which probably take too long, and he's going to self-revive, okay? So he's going to self-revive at that point, and he can start to finesse. So that kind of takes a little bit of a longer time. The second reason is I don't know where his teammates are, right? I'm playing quads. I don't know where his three other teammates are. So I've got to play this a little bit cautious here, and all I'm going to do is answer this question. What is the safest angle that I can get this thirst from? Where I don't put myself in a tough spot against his teammates, and on top of that, I can finesse if I need to. Now, why do I push this guy over the guy to my left? Literally doesn't matter, guys. It doesn't matter who you push right there. Just push one of them. You know, in this case, I saw this guy was a little bit more out in the open here. This guy's on my level, so I absolutely could challenge it. It's a little bit of a tougher fight to take. I've just got to be aware of that, but we're going to go ahead and act on this guy shooting over this direction, take that easy kill. Now, why do I get the thirst? Well, I want to take him out of the fight. I want the kill. And on top of that, I have self-revive here. Okay, so even if I do go down, he's probably not going to be able to get that thirst. Now, what do we do in this moment, guys? What are you thinking? Bunch of people flying around here. You know, do we fly across? Do we start to go challenge? What do we do? Okay? I'm just going to kind of chill. A lot of pro players that you probably watch, you know, whether it's Knight, Biffle, Zyro, like probably go full send that, guys. I am going to drop 35 kills this game. I still like to play a little bit strategic at times in terms of positioning. I don't know how many enemies are over there. I don't want to put myself in a situation where I have to completely dance on them and, you know, use crazy movement and stims and all that stuff. I want to try to get it down in thirst and then act on information from there. And by the way, I get caught in a bad spot. We get caught out in the open. A little bit tough right there. We get caught by the TTV kid who just acted on me jumping down and flying across. Unfortunate. Let's go ahead and fly back in. Guys, dying's part of the game. It's part of the game. It is what it is. Now we got to focus on that regain component. Now, why do we go ahead and full send right back in here on the buy station? This is what I generally do a lot of times, but the most important thing to understand is look at our cash, right? We have a bow right there. We have enough money to buy our SMG immediately. Guys, I am always buying my SMG first. Why? Because at the end of the day, the SMG gives me the mobility, gives me the outplay potential, gives me the close quarters TTK that I need to be able to get some kills, at which point I can really start to get cash flow and regain from there. You know, I would much rather have a mediocre long-range gun and a meta SMG versus a great long-range gun and a mediocre SMG. Does that make sense? Because it just gives you more potential in these close quarter fights, which is where we ultimately need to be. Shooting down below. Okay, let's go ahead and push in here. Nobody else around us, but I do hear a bunch of people down below. Remember when I talked about... No, pause. You got a decision coming up. You got a why moment. Yep. I hear him. Okay, so... Remember how I told you, you know, I like to play a little bit more strategic at times? Well, I hear multiple enemies down below me. Why do I play positioning? for that exact reason, guys. If I know it's a 1v1 fight, I'm going to take it. I'm going to basically anticipate, execute in terms of, you know, aim and movement. I'm going to win that 1v1. If it's multiple or you're unsure, you've got to play positioning. Why? Because how many of you guys push through this door, and then what happens is all of a sudden you run into both of these enemies and you're like, Joe, I'm constantly getting stacked on. Well, I'm kind of waiting for these guys to push through. And on top of that, I strafe to the right side here to break that line of sight, put me in a better position to be able to outplay, right? Remember how I said kind of playing that safe angle, always thinking how you can get out of that situation if you need to? It's exactly what I do right here. Now we get caught by this guy to my right side, challenge that, down and thirst. Or sorry, down. We don't get the thirst because the bomb drone's chasing us. And now we're going to go ahead and just anticipate around this corner here. Now, why do I back off in this moment? Okay, why don't I get that thirst? Very simple. Listen, you hear a little bit of a footstep here. And I don't know where his teammates are. So I heard the footstep. Now, obviously, the minimap kind of shows me that there's enemies close, but I don't really understand what's around me at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and back off this situation. We're going to go ahead, we're going to replate, and I actually get the full kill there because that team got wiped. Now, there's two things to understand. Number one, even though I get this thirst, this guy's down and I don't get the thirst there, the pressure is on them to revive, right? His teammate right here has to rotate over to him and decide, hey, am I going to revive this guy or am I going to go fight the guy who downed you? So that puts them in a really tough spot. It kind of buys me time to replay. Number two, when you get this full kill right here, okay? You get this full kill, knowing that there was one other enemy still alive, immediately you have to recognize that there's another team around here. Because somebody killed that last teammate and it wasn't me. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking in this moment. Not 100% sure where. I've got to be careful. Now, obviously, we get the recon thing, the recon flyover that shows me this guy in bio, at which point, hey, I know he's over that direction. We can start to figure out how we want to challenge. I'm leaving loadout up. Why? Because I want to regain. I don't want to, especially here when I have my SMG, I've got enough for Legionnaire perk package in the deter. Let's go ahead and buy those. Let's keep this free loadout up as long as possible. And by the way, I still have biometric scanner that I can use, right? So I can, technically speaking here, I can die, then regain, then die, then regain. And then at that point, if I die again, then what do I do from here? That's where we get to the tough spot. But you can see right here, you know, I have biometric scanner and I have free loadout right here to use to be able to regain, at which point I would have died 3 times, and every single time after I die, I'm still able to fight with loadout guns, which is the biggest advantage you can give yourself. So just a little bit of gameplay strategy there in terms of why I make that decision. Notice we're all the way up to 11 kills. We got 8 other teams alive right here. Guys, let me know down in the comments below if you find this video helpful. I will absolutely start doing more of these videos because I think answering that question of like, why do you do this? What do I do in this situation is something that a lot of you guys struggle with. Now we're going to go ahead and push up this direction. This is a very simple one, guys. When it comes to recognizing your cash flow, in this situation, I'm going to buy portable radar. Why? It's very simple, guys. I don't have any information. I have literally nothing to work on at this moment besides the one guy in bio. By the way, why do I disengage bio and just leave him? I just didn't want to fight there. Remember in the beginning of this video, I said the hot areas generally like prison, control, living quarters, factory. Like we know there's people there. So let's go ahead and get on that side of the map here as opposed to fighting one team in bio or maybe even just one enemy in bio. So we're going to go ahead and work our way across. Unfortunately, guys, we don't have anything on the mini-map here in terms of from that portable radar. So we're just going to go ahead and keep kind of looting through a little bit. Yes, I should have picked up that self-revive. Don't bash me in the comments, please. I get it enough about me missing stuff. And we're just going to go ahead and keep working through here. Why? Well, because it's my only option. My only option is to kind of keep pushing through, you know, looting just a little bit to maybe see if I can find some cash. And then from here, we get a good old big bag of cash right there. And we're going to go ahead and push over this direction to control. Why? I mean, number one is I do hear some shooting, thankfully. Ready? You're going to hear it right about here in a second. Just a little bit of shooting. Right there. That's all I needed. That's all I needed to hear. There's people over here fighting. Do I have any idea where? No, I don't. So what do? Gotta probably play our positioning, right? Look at minimap. This guy's literally right by the shack here. Now go back to what I said earlier. Okay? Why do I not full send this? Why do I not full send this? I'm playing quads, guys. I don't know how many it is. So what do? What is the safest angle that you can find to get the thirst from? Now, technically speaking, if we were to really, really dive into this further, I do get a little bit lucky because this guy sticks his leg out trying to break that line of sight. Technically, I probably look at minimap here. I probably should have pushed on the roof and kind of played from this corner, which would have given me a little bit better of an angle there. I get a little bit lucky that he overextended and I was able to shoot his toes. 2 guys down below here. Enemy dropping in. Down. Thirsted. Why do I work this way and not to the last guy that was on the minimap? Why do I push up top here versus pushing the guy on the minimap? It's just easier in the moment. You know, concrete information was to my right. I don't love fighting at the boat to begin with, so I'm just going to go ahead and work my way to the rooftop. See what I can find here. One guy broke his legs. Unfortunate for him. We keep the pressure on there. This is a pretty easy kill. Minimap shows multiple, actually one enemy over in tents, right? So we're just going to kind of work our way back and forth, trying to find some information. Trying to get it down from here. And you're going to see my long-range aim is actually struggling right now because of Black Ops 6 multiplayer. Guys, if you are playing Black Ops 6, this is the long-range TTK is going to be really, really tough. Obviously, those shots were fine, but you're going to see me miss some potential downs here. And why do I not push in closer? Because I have good positioning. I'm just kind of chilling up here for now. You'll see us go here in a second, but I'm at 15 kills already, guys. We're in a really good spot to drop a 20-kill game, which is ultimately my goal in every single game. Yeah, we'll take the 30s will happen naturally with pacing and acting quickly on information. 20s is really, really, really what I think anybody can do with just a little bit of gameplay strategy and execution. Got to get this thirst up top somehow. He doesn't have self-revive because he just flew in. But still worried about these people over here. You're going to see right here. This is where my long-range aim is just... I'm just not tracking well because you don't have to track in Black Ops 6 multiplayer, especially because I'm playing hardcore doing the camo grind right now. You literally don't have to track. You just have to anticipate and center. See what we can find? Now, finally here, we decide to go push and act on this piece of information. Still keeping in mind, though, what is the safest spot that we can get the thirst from? Kill confirmed. Somebody got the kill. Wasn't me, though. Why don't we full send this guy? Okay, so I get the down right here. You know, I kind of see this guy right here pushing across. There's this guy right here. You can barely see him. See him pushing across. He gets the kill confirmed. Why do I not full send this guy and go challenge around the corner? You could anticipate center, but be ready to get out. The biggest thing is we don't know how many enemies there are. So if you want to go challenge this around the corner, you can, but you better be ready to retreat and break this line of sight if there's multiple enemies because you have no idea. Instead, I'm just going to chill up here and kind of wait for him, and because he doesn't know that I'm here. Right? This is the element of surprise component that we can play with positioning because he doesn't know that I'm here. And now we can start to go to work. We're going to challenge this guy right here flying in. So I'm going to keep the pressure on him. This is a very simple challenge here because he's already broken. So we just keep the pressure on. 1, 2. Last guy on the minimap straight ahead. He's thirsty trying to call in a mortar. Team wipe right there. We're at 20 kills. So now we go ahead and start to focus on definitely the win as well, but starting to push this 30 kill game. One guy flying over to the left side at control. I probably should have done that as a why question. Yeah, you can see him right here. You can see him flying in just barely. So we have to act. It's better to work on that piece of information than nothing. Okay, I know he's over this direction. Another one flying in straight ahead. Just can't quite get either of those downs. But it gives us a window to push in. So we're just going to work our way across here. This is a... I'm not going to ruin it. You can just watch this. And then we'll talk about it here. We'll go back and ask the why questions after we get through this 1v4. There's a lot to break down here. Okay, so let's pull it back to here. Okay, so pushing in, guys, I know that I have to play my positioning. right? That's why I kind of take this rooftop first. Now, technically speaking, element of surprise-wise, I should have pushed up to this. Would have given me a slightly better angle on this guy to get that down and thirst. But he's able to back off there, and now we work our way through. Okay, so this is a little bit aggressive, but I'm going to work my way through and anticipate up the stairs here, but I end up hearing multiple enemies when he's not in here. Right, so I know it's multiple, so what do? We back off and play positioning. If it's multiple enemies, right, back off and play positioning. So we push up top here. We end up catching this guy down low. So we get a little bit lucky there when it comes to that initial down and thirst. Then I hear this guy pushing up the stairs. By the way, notice I still have flex perk on. Now, from here, what do we notice? Look at the mini-map. See, I can see him pushing here, so I kind of just slightly reposition. I slightly play a little bit unpredictable, and you're going to see how much that pays off here. They do not have an angle to see me right here. They cannot see me all the way back here. So when they push in here, notice which way he's looking. He's looking down the stairs. So I push out here. That gives me the advantage right there with the break, or sorry, with the down. Then I barely catch enemy number 2. And we're just going to kind of keep shooting here because he's naturally going to try to challenge that. And he doesn't really have anywhere to go. So I'm just going to keep shooting there, keep that pressure on, knowing that I have enough ammo. And we immediately get out. Now, this was a mistake. Why did I not buy a UAV and a self-revive here and a gas mask to set myself up for endgame because respawn is disabled? It's a mistake. It's a bad one. I have to buy gas mask here, self-revive, and at least one UAV. You know, that would have put me in a much better position to really understand where everybody is during this endgame, as well as give me outplay potential with, you know, a self-revive in case I get sniped, in case I get down from long range and I can actually get it off. Gas mask also gives me a ton of outplay potential as well. See what we do from here. 25 kills, still very, very healthy. Why do I push over this direction? Okay, now, first things first is I'm pretty confident that everything back here, okay, along this side, actually, I should switch my color. I'm pretty confident that everything along here is pretty clear, okay? There's 4 teams left, right? So we're paying attention to that. You know, I know control's clear. I'm not 100% sure about this area, which is where the UAV would have helped. But we're just going to go ahead and take rooftop. We want to be in this power position for endgame. End up catching this guy flying in. That's a pretty easy kill that we're obviously going to take. Now, the question was, why did I push over towards Harbor? Now, number 1, we see the buyback. Okay. Number 2 is we are going to see this guy flying in right here. Now, when I asked the question, why did I push Harbor, or why did I push the guys that were in this building right here over this direction versus these guys right here? Well, if you look, these guys are shooting at them, right? You can hear it and you can see it. Now, the biggest thing that I notice on the minimap is look at where these guys are. These guys are in here. Look at where these guys have to get to. Right? So they have absolutely no cover. These are easy kills on these guys rotating in because there's nowhere that they can go to get away from me. This is where when we use this minimap to our advantage and we understand, okay, I know this team's in this building. I know they have to rotate in. There's no cover here. By the way, this building right here, which is this building right here, is not in zone. So the zone is essentially like right here. And you can see, like, I can get these kills so easily, which is exactly what you're going to see me do. Now, I'm not going to push in here, right? This is the strategic decision. Let's just play. When respawn disabled, guys, we slow down. We play our positioning. By the way, if you made it this far and you're not subscribed, like, guys, I have given you so much. I don't know how much more I can give you here. I mean, I always give you more. I do 2-3 videos a week, so make sure you are subscribed down below. I could always give you more, I guess. Especially as we head into Black Ops 6, which is going to be... Some stuff is going to be similar. A lot of stuff is going to be different with the movement. Now, again, they're in here. Down. I know there's more. Come on. You literally can't stay in. You can't even stay on the stairwell here. Thirsted. Down. Thirsted. Why do I thirst that guy? Because the other guy still has to jump out. Come on, buddy. See? Like, why do I thirst this guy first? Because this guy can't stay in here, okay? So we're just gonna... Yeah, come on out. Buy back to our left side here, right? So as soon as I get this full kill, I know this guy has to rotate in. Now, I'm in a 1v4 situation, okay? I do recognize that I'm in a 1v4. One guy flying in above there, so now I'm in a little bit of a tough spot. But I still know that this guy has to rotate in. So we're gonna take our full kill right there. Look at our circle right here. What do you notice? I noticed one thing. Water tower. I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to be that guy. Why? Because this is your in circle with cover then power position. You can't stay top prison here. So I'm going to try to get to water tower early and rotate. Do I grab the self? Okay, now you guys can roast me in the comments. Now you can roast me in the comments. Buy back straight ahead. Let's just go ahead and get all the way up. Still in a 1v4 situation right here. Still in a 1v4, but plenty of time. I'm just going to keep playing my positioning here. I know that they're not in a good spot because they don't really have a ton of places where they can play cover. And you're going to see that right here, guys. This is what happens when you get caught rotating late because you're not paying attention to the minimap. Use your minimap endgame to understand where you want to be. Minimap plus map knowledge will tell you exactly where you want to be. Okay, so there's one. I still haven't got it down yet. Quick reload. Broken. Gotta get this guy down. Gotta get one of the two down. There's one. Down. Thirsted. Where's the second guy? 1v3 situation. Down. Thirsted. Now what do we do? Minimap plus map knowledge. Minimap plus map knowledge. Minimap plus map knowledge. I definitely put myself in a bad spot, but why did I jump early? Because I want to be in circle with cover then power position. Probably not the best way for me to go about it, but I also didn't think he was just going to be staring at me. So we immediately get to cover. Why? I know I need to plate up, but I know I'm in a incredible spot here. Incredible, because there's multiple enemies up here that have to rotate in. And then from here, guys, this is just straight execution, baby. This is just straight execution. 1, 2. That's just straight frying with the detour, guys. So I hope you found today's video helpful, and let me know if you guys want me to do more videos like this. It's the first time I've really just asked the question why throughout an entire video. So I hope you found it helpful. As I always say, let's get better today, and I will see you tomorrow.